Hi there, everyone. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Happy new moon eclipse. It's a powerful one, right? It's a Leo fire sign, and naturally, new moons, right? As you may know, are more introspective sort of times, right? Where we dig deeply beneath the surface to assess what right energetic sort of archives may remain for our review, right, as we embark upon this new path ahead, right, this new moon cycle. So let us see what energies we have here for each of the signs. We'll just do them off in a wildfire sort of fashion. And of course, we'll begin with Leo. All right. Hi there, Leo. Happy new moon eclipse right out in your sign here. You popped out with the Nine of Wands upright. Okay, overlaying the Two of Wands upright, overlaying the Ace of Pentacles upright, overlaying Judgment upright. My goodness, Leo, right? Unsurprisingly so, there is a major, it's interesting because there's this introspective, okay, sort of nature, but that's applied in such a way that's active. So it's almost like this. I almost said Aries. I almost said Sagittarius as well. All three fire signs. Okay, so Leo, the fire is very strong for you, and it may have to do. I'm back to mention this as it pertains to a partnership of some kind, perhaps with an Aries, perhaps with a Sagittarius, for a number of you. But I was going to say there seems to be this strong extroversion of the internalization of energies. I'm beckoned to mention it in terms of powers. So whatever that may mean to a number of you, but there's this coming out effect. Okay, there's this coming out effect with what is it that drives us very deeply, that drives our soul forward to embark upon further knowings. Okay, I'm getting by way of the meanderings. So there's something having to do, absolutely, right? Naturally so, with the new moon in Leo, having to do with the yin and the yang, the polarity of forces working together, a merging of some sort. Absolutely, I'm getting this strongly that it may pertain to partnership of some kind for a number of you. In terms of, I'm hearing recreational purposes, also creative projects, okay? And matters, I'm hearing of lineage. Okay, I'm getting career. So lineage of career or simply lineage. Okay, pastimes. So there's absolutely a review, and a new beginning. Okay, a new beginning. By way of, however, very, very strongly so, by way of the internalization of the understanding, okay, of how we are to externalize this. I'm hearing yet again power. So something to do with a channeling of resources, especially those that may be creative as well as intuitive, And it's this intuition that almost stimulates, that prepares, I'm hearing, for the embarkment upon a new chapter. So I feel that it's been a period perhaps of delving deeply. And of course, in your mid-August reading, Leo, you had this emphasis on the emotions, right? On that delving to the depths of what it is that you feel. Okay, and then taking the action from then on, and then right, reaching a level of a certain discernment. Okay, I'm hearing of propositions. So it's like this, Leo. If you're thinking of making a major change, a major move, it's first by way of understanding from the core where you're leading out from, where you're leading out from. Okay, I'm hearing the core of your values and your set of propositions, and I'm hearing stakes. So, Leo, it's like this, right? It's by way of first. It's kind of like this is the analogy, right? Let's say you're a company, and someone another. Let's say you're a business to business sort of company, and so another company comes up to you and says, hey, well, we want to work with you, and we're going to propose this kind of, I'm hearing measure, this act, okay, whatever it may be, a certain partnership, okay, on the table. And right, before you can answer as a representative of this company, even if you are, let's say, the lead of it, the CEO of it, okay, you're playing the lead role, I'm hearing the starring act, you still, right, you respond with, well, let me run it by the rest of the company, and I'll get back to you. So what I'm getting for you, Leo, is that I'm hearing it's an internal of sorts. It's an internal of sorts. however you resonate with it, whatever this decision is that you're coming down to, you're recognizing, I can't answer anything until I answer it for myself. Before I'm hearing give the okay go, I'm hearing on measures, on acts for a number of you, I've got to bypass my own internal frequency of values. So it's right, it's this turning inwards. It's this turning inwards. What is it that I really feel about either propensity that I'm working with, either side of the story, either or the yes and the no, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, whatever it may be, right? It's understanding where you personally lie on the threshold between those two dimensions that may both be realities for you. It's a matter of understanding, right? How do I currently take both realities into measure, into form, before I step over and claim that I operate, I'm hearing, under a certain scheme, umbrella. Where do I stand before I form that I'm hearing that formidable alliance? Where do I stand prior to that jump, prior to that step, just before the decision? Emotionally, greatly, intuitively, greatly. So it's very exciting. It's very, very momentous. And there's a conceptualization, a great conceptualization on how to move forward, right? So that it's all systems go, all systems within our personal systems go. All right, so thank you so much, Leo, for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Happy eclipse to you. And of course, right, the new moon is a beautiful time, beautiful time for taking that introspective moment, right? Aligning with our very personal intentions, our needs. I'm hearing specifically for you, our needs as creative beings. And understanding how it is from there that we wish to assimilate all the pieces as we implement, right, the actions that feed that vision. Okay, so thank you so much again, Leo. Enjoy the eclipse in your very own sign, and we'll see you for the September reading soon. All right, bye. And leading to Virgo next. Hi there, Virgo. You're right up and out, just like Leo. Cards popping out for you. Beautiful. The sun, upright, overlaying this whole stack here that pops out. You have Temperance. Okay, fire. Temperance motioning over to the sun, upright, both of them. You have the Five of Cups in reverse. So very lovely. Transmutation on a very deep, I'm hearing, internal level that speaks to the understanding of our emotions. There's clarity about this. Great clarity about this, and you may have support, okay, that I'm hearing interprets the ley lines, interprets the energy frequency in some kind of way. I'm hearing a ley line for you strongly. So it's something to do with, I'm hearing family support for a number of you. It's just a very, very jovial energy, a very exciting energy, and there's this mutual understanding of where we come from and where we part. Okay, and how both I'm hearing concave existence. They eventually almost like I'm hearing they even out, they streamline out, as different as varying as they may be, right? As far as they may travel, they eventually they boomerang, right? And that's almost a cyclical sort of effect, to which point it just becomes streamlined. It just becomes just parallel. Right? So it's the median of the extremes that I'm getting, you're coming to in conceptual form. Very interesting. You pulled, Virgo, you pulled Judgment in the same position as Leo. Okay, you pulled the Ace of Pentacles right after Judgment, and you pulled the Two of Wands, just like Leo as well. So these three cards at your tail end of this reading on the left-hand side, okay, underpinning your reading is like Leo. So maybe crossover with Leo, absolutely, but you've got a lot of fire for you in this reading, and you're an earth sign, so this is interesting. This is very interesting. I'm getting that, I'm hearing it's the crux of the matter that comes undone. You understand it. And you understand the action that's needed to be taken to officialize, to consecrate, to formalize as well. I'm getting these internal hunches. I'm hearing these internal ramblings and meanderings, where it is that we start, where it is that we end, and the process that must continue. Okay, it must continue so that all forms can come into one. Okay, I'm hearing all bodies can come into one. So it's the cyclicality of extremes that brings this consciousness, this awareness of I'm hearing the sheer modality, the median of change. And it brings you this tremendous understanding, okay, of all of the extremes that you may have experienced. Right? So it's by way of reaching either side of this threshold. I'm getting an emotional underpinning, especially whatever this cycle has been speaking to the emotional realm. I'm getting yet again the crux of the matter, something just emotional that didn't quite sit right with us, within us. You're understanding, you're coming out with. And there's a question of how to I'm hearing give birth to this newfound understanding in a way where I not only feel it, I not only see it in broad daylight, I not only recognize it, but I stand for it, I apply this newfound truth, emotional truth, in such a way that stabilizes me and the other parts of my being in the third dimension. So, and that's a practicalism, right? That Virgo is known for, absolutely. Right, and it's great that I feel this. It's great that I know this. How can I make it even serviceable to others? How can I help others even with what I've now found? Okay, by way of my very personal experiences. Okay, so it may have to do with career, absolutely, but I'm getting that whatever this cycle has been for you, Virgo, it was very personal to you. It was a very personal experience, and it shed light on so much newfound understanding that you want to bring from within you out. Okay, and it's very, I'm getting, it's a very jovial energy. It's a very, very jovial energy. It's a very uplifting energy, right? Internally and also externally. And it's like those around you will feel it. We'll feel this release. We'll feel this, I'm hearing this checkpoint, this check marker, right? Of understanding you. Now that, right, it's almost like I'm hearing you've come undone. You've come undone with whatever it was that confounded your sense of belonging, I'm hearing, and your sense of self. You're uprising, Virgo. It's so beautiful, so very, very beautiful. Okay, so thank you so very much for tuning into your eclipse reading, Virgo. I hope that it was helpful for you in some sort of way here, and I'll be back soon with your September reading, so stay tuned for it. And let's see, any other sort of announcements? I believe that's it. All right, Virgo, thank you so very much. Enjoy the eclipse, and I'll see you soon. Bye. And we'll move on to Libra. Okay, Libra. Ooh, there is laser focus for you here. Libra. Something about order, something about, I'm hearing Libra focus, that laser Libra focus. Let's see what this is all about. Okay, you pulled here the Mother of Swords in reverse, Libra. This is your very own sort of exaltation of your energy, okay, your element, the air element. In reverse, okay, so there's a reformation of the foundation, I'm hearing, of ideals, okay, that speak to our dream world, what it is that we seem to align with when, I'm hearing, when no one's around, when no one is around to understand our dream, right? What is it that we just dream? And there's a question of the emotional side of that as well, right? How do I emotionally align, vibrate at my own internal frequency when I'm hearing, when I'm alone in the dark, when no one's watching, when no one's listening, when no one's asking questions, right? How do I feel about what I feel, about what I think, about what I experience? Now, okay, Let me read them all off to you. You have the Two of Cups in reverse. You have the Death card in reverse in your dead center. Okay. You have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. You have the Star upright. Beautiful, beautiful. That you're slowly leading out with. You have the Son of Swords upright. Okay. Very, very, very interesting. You have the Three of Pentacles in your theme, overlaying the Devil card. Okay. Overlaying the Moon card. Overlaying the Magician. Okay. Now, several major arcana in sequence here for you in your theme. There's a question of rebuilding. I'm hearing the rebuilding of self, the rebuilding of values. I'm hearing for you strongly, strongly as it pertains to partnerships, matters of love, what we deem to be love, how we feel love, how we discern love, how we understand love. Okay, and there's a transformation of I'm hearing those values, of that value set, that I'm hearing that value proposition that came through for Leo. Okay, now you have here this mirroring effect between the Son of Swords and the Mother of Swords, air, both court cards. Mother of Swords in reverse, Son of Swords upright, swooping into the Star. Okay, so there's this, I'm hearing a discernment of values yet again, but not to the point where our discernment comes before what we deem to be I'm hearing our spiritual values, our morals, our spiritual morals, our dreams, our dream set. Okay, it's like the dream comes before the processing, the analysis of it. Right, we first have to dream the dream, and then we wake up and what was that about? Okay, so there's this step-by-step this reconfiguration of the order of how we dream and how we even, I'm hearing, allow ourselves to dream, how we accept what we dream and what we feel to just simply be our very personal truth. And so there's an allowing of that flow, okay, of that cascade, okay, of feelings that are very deep, that are very, very deep, right? Not this sort of so I'm not feeling lighthearted sort of feelings. I'm not getting that, right? It's like, oh, spending dinner with so and so. This feels nice. I'm not getting that. I'm getting that it's like how do I when I'm again in the dark, when I'm all alone, when I'm sitting in my room, I'm here in my bubble, in my zone. What do I feel there? What kind of feelings are aroused for me in that place of solitude, of silence, I'm hearing sheer ambiguity. So where you don't even, right, in the place where you don't even understand, okay, with clarity, with the sense of logical, I'm hearing determination, okay, of feeling how we feel. What is it that you take from that moment, right, of I'm hearing confounding ideals, the ideal of the logical, rational mind and that of the emotional landscape of your being. So it's I'm hearing strongly for your reconfiguration of ideals, and you are getting very, very, very deep with it. Very, very much so, Libra, right? Death in reverse, right at the apex of your reading, okay? So it's like this is a true new moon for you, true new moon for you, beneath the surface. Reshaping ideals, understanding where we come from, understanding what we want to make from what we've taken from this moment where we meet ourselves. Okay, and there's a question of, right, and there's perhaps even a organization, I'm hearing, of these ideals in terms of how do I, right, yet again, take what I've discovered of myself beneath the surface, layers beneath the surface, and bring it back up above, right, the threshold of this third dimension, where, right, I present myself not for the sake of presenting myself, presenting my ideals, what I deem to be true, but I'm presenting wholeheartedly what I can't even present, what I don't even understand necessarily, but what I find when I accept not understanding, when I right, close my eyes and I don't look at myself in the mirror, And I don't look at what I'm wearing, and I don't, right, I'm hear certain hear values. When I don't hear values, something about hearing values for you, Libra, who am I there? That's what I want to project. And the process to bringing out, right, that depth from within me requires of me to first, I'm hearing yet again for you, come to terms with not understanding it and just accepting it, just saying, you know what, whatever comes, when I enter that space, it's mine. It's my inner child coming out to play. And, right, it's unconditional. My acceptance of me is unconditional. Whoever I am, whoever I show myself to be, I want, right, to meet myself there. I want to, right, see myself in every, I'm hearing, in every glimmer of light, in every shadow of, I'm hearing, understanding, to see it from every angle, to see myself from every angle. And I'm hearing, and I love it, and I love it. And there's this joyousness to the partaking in such a deep, meaningful, sentimental experience that yet again is very personal, very, very personal. And but it's as well, right? There's this desire to implement and ground these very personal ideals into the third dimension, right? And so there may be a focusing on that, and perhaps it has to do with career, all right? So thank you so very much, Libra, for tuning in. I hope this reading was helpful for you. Have a beautiful eclipse. And I'll be back soon with your September reading, so stay tuned for it. Otherwise, I'll see you soon, Libra. Bye. All right, let's move on to Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. How's it going? How's the new moon treating you? This profound eclipse. Processing. Leo. Ooh, okay. So Leo wants to speak for you. Leo wants to speak for you, and here we go. We have Judgment in the very position that Leo pulled Judgment. Okay, so very interesting, and the eclipse is in Leo, so we'll heed this. But Leo wanted to say something, okay, to you, to speak to you. Very interesting. You pulled. All right, let's see what this is all about here. Now, it seems that much of the signs are intertwining. You have the Five of Cups in reverse. Just like Virgo, you have the Two of Wands upright. Just like Leo, you have the Ten of Cups in reverse. Okay, mirroring the Five of Cups. Okay, I'm hearing there's this coming out. With, I'm hearing shedding light on our purpose, on our dream, on what it was that held us from that point of the expression of our values, of our emotions. Okay, and there's this action. Okay, this stirring sort of energy to whatever this emotional, I'm hearing, onset is, and it may have to do with translocation movement. Ooh, you pulled the Tower here. Okay, right, butting heads almost with this Daughter of Cups. Okay, so water sign, it may have to do with a water sign individual. It doesn't have to be female necessarily. It doesn't have to be right. It could be however gender, but there is, perhaps it seems, someone attached to this, maybe your own energy, right? Water sign, Scorpio, but it may also be, right, Cancer, someone with a lot of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio in their chart, or someone with a very strong 8th house, someone with a very strong 12th house or 4th house. Nonetheless, there's, I'm hearing a reformation of emotionalism and emotional ideals, the idealism of how we want to feel. And I'm hearing there's a reclaiming of that power and the power to harness what it is that we feel. I'm hearing in equal measure. Okay, in equal measure I'm hearing. So I'm getting out of bounds. I'm hearing out of bounds. Something about extreme. Something about reaching far from I'm hearing from behind. Okay, very interesting. Something far from behind and from before. So there's, again, something about the the concept of idealism and how you have interacted with your emotions, perhaps in the past, in the future, and understanding how these two simultaneous engagements with the reality that we are and the emotions that shape how we are in either reality I'm hearing is an experience that we cannot forego. So, Scorpio, there's something to do about duality. Okay, duality, dichotomy, something to do with polarity and the symbiotic relationship of extremes. Okay, be it you and another person, be it the two propensities within yourself, be it the two extremes, I'm here yet again, the extremities of how we feel, the polarization of how we may feel at any moment in time, right? Feeling like I have these two sides to me that are just so foreign to one another, right? Do I forego both of them? Do I accept both of them? How do we all play nice, right? At the same time. So, now you have the Ace of Pentacles horizontally laid at the base of your spread. Very interesting. There's a new beginning, a profound new beginning that rides on the, I'm hearing the understanding of the emotional side to what compels us to begin again. This time, in such a way that honors the emotional landscape. I'm hearing in greater measure, and I'm hearing as well in equal measure. So where have you been, right, understanding your emotions, honoring whatever it is that you feel, your emotional truth, and implementing that emotional truth as a foundation of whatever it is that you implement in the third dimension, okay? And if you feel that perhaps you've been right, shutting out your emotions in a certain way, right, or right, and hopefully not, always, hopefully not. But if in any way, right, you may have felt like, I've been I'm hearing regressing from my emotions. I'm hearing shadow of a doubt. I've been doubting how I feel, perhaps in some kind of way, right? It's like I'm hearing you're increasing the light. You're shedding light on your emotions, spotlight on your emotions, prioritization of your feelings, even if what you feel can be right on one side of the spectrum in one given moment and on the other in another. You're accepting that polarity for what it is, understanding that, right, it doesn't it doesn't deconstruct, okay, or undervalue who I am and my emotional truth just because my emotional truth is varied. Just because, right, I'm not streamlined, perhaps consistent in what it is that I feel at every given moment. And that's a very, right, Plutonic sort of thing. That's a very Scorpionic sort of thing. Right? I'm Scorpio rising. I get it, right? But it's this this depth, right? The receding of the shoreline, and the I'm hearing the overshadowing of the shoreline. That is the answer, and it's that bobbing in and out. Okay, that forward motion and the receding of that tide that allows us to see more clearly, right, and understand with more. I'm hearing even subjectivity, but also objectivity. Right, yet again, both polarities, the greater whole, and it's the greater whole and the greater makeup that is our truth, and I'm accepting of that. And the process that takes me there to that truth, even if it confounds, I'm hearing idealism of the logical, rational mind. even if it confounds societal expectation of my personal truth. Because I'm defying, right, my own, even my own expectations. And because I'm doing that, because I'm remaining open to what I find, right, in that void of understanding, naturally, right, my answer is too not going to fit any sort of regimentation. Okay, I'm hearing of purpose, of values. So it's all about your approach, the approach that you take, the openness, okay, with which you regard. You know what? I'm gonna make it a point to come out with my emotional truth, to express my emotions with greater intention and focus. And it's not about filtering those emotions. It's not about keeping the gate holder there and processing before releasing, right? It's like I want to accept everything, it all. And Libra got a very similar energy. Libra got a very, very similar energy. Okay, and Libra pulled the Mother of Swords in their theme. Not in their theme. You have it in your theme, okay? But they pulled it at their very base card. So, and both in reverse. So there may be, right, some linking over with the Libra archetype for you. Be it if you know Libra, if you have a lot of Libra in your chart, or simply, right, we are all signs. So it may be some overlap for you there in terms of I'm hearing conceptualization of ideals. So, and it may, yet again, you have the Two of Cups in reverse right beneath the Mother of Cups. So the Libra had the Two of Cups right after the Mother of Swords, but I said Cups. So there's this focus, infiltration of emotions. And yet again, it's like the intellectual, rational mind and the emotional, intuitive sort of path. I'm hearing Pathfinder. So, and that's under, right, construct for you. And deconstruction as well, right? You have the Tower, more or less in the apex of your reading. So a new beginning, okay, founded upon whatever this emotional cycle has been, the understanding of it, and the very directive, focused channeling of all of these polarities of how we felt until now. And here we have on the right hand side of the reading the Empress in reverse, the Seven of Cups in reverse. Emotional clarity is very, very, very much a focus for you here, Scorpio. I almost said Libra and I almost said Leo at the very same time. So if there's some overlap for you there with Leo and Libra, or you may want to check those segments out as well. But the Empress's Aries' card, and it's interesting because the Daughter of Cups is looking down at the Empress. Okay. Now, and you have the Eight of Swords up right off on the very far right-hand corner of the spread, right in between the Mother of Swords and the Seven of Cups. 7, 8 in sequence, okay, and swords. So it's almost like this. You've understood that eventually you would be breaking out of this eggshell. Okay, that's how I'm feeling it for you. I'm breaking out of this eggshell, and it's by way of this emotional, almost it's like a burst. Okay, almost like outburst. Well, I'm not going to hold this in any longer. This is how I feel. And, right, sooner or later the lightning is going to strike. And this tree that was, right, not built upon firm foundations, I'm hearing, emotionally, is going to, I'm hearing deconstruct. I'm hearing of values, yet again. So whatever has been built upon values that that honored your, I'm hearing, your very personal scape, your very personal landscape of ideals, and the actions that you take in the capacitation of those ideals, right, stands tall, stands firm. But there's a configuration of, yet again, right, well, what are my ideals? And what is built upon those ideals? And what is it that I need to release, to reevaluate, to reconfigure, okay, to ensure, enable that this next cycle, this new beginning for me in a very material, physical, tangible third dimension, okay, is stable for me in every dimension of me. Okay, so, and it has to do with the stabilization and the channeling of emotion strongly, right? The Empress being a very fertile energy, mothering sort of energy, speaking of that yin, right, that yin. But being, right, Aries' card, there is as well this sort of referencing of the yang. So it's not only, right, the internalization of how we feel, it's how we channel it, right? It's how we bring it into form in a way that's conducive and that honors who we really are. Okay, so thank you so very much, Scorpio, for tuning in. Have a beautiful eclipse and new moon, and I will see you soon for your September reading, so stay tuned for it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. We're on to Sagittarius. Okay, there's this waltzing sort of energy with you. There's this I'm hearing it's like one step, two step, three step, go. It's this preparation. Okay, I'm hearing ideals. You are the you are the next sign to pull the Judgment card and the Five of Cups, right? So Leo started out with the Judgment card up right in their base of the spread, and you have the Five of Cups in reverse. There's for so many signs here. Virgo pulled the Five of Cups in reverse, and Scorpio as well. There is this coming out of this shadow, this emotional overcast. Okay, it's like, what was that? Like you now get it. You now understand it. I'm hearing you now understand it, honey. So whatever that may mean to you, let us take a deeper dive with it. You have the Lovers in reverse right next to this Five of Cups I'm getting from the past. So having to do with partnership, matters of emotional elevation. I'm getting elevation, something about the exaltation of emotions. Perhaps I'm getting it's like how you draw your emotions out in time over the span of time and space, how you channel yourself, your emotional propensities, okay? And yet again, I'm getting strongly pulled over time, how your emotions have been elastic in a certain way, and in such a way where, right, it hasn't quite been serving you. You understand, right? It's a matter of, I'm hearing flying solo. It's a matter of flying solo where I've tried to almost harmonize before I find that internal calibration of what makes me as an individual personally, fully, emotionally satisfied, right? I'm not going to be able to fly where it is that I want to go, right? And so there's a prioritization of your ideals, even if it sets you apart from the rest, right? Absolutely apart from the rest. You're like, I have no problem, okay, at this point, feeling foreign, okay, to my surroundings, and others finding me to be sort of, I'm hearing a polar force, a foreign force, because the prioritization, yet again, is me, is flying where I need to fly, is getting me where I need to go. And whatever that means for anyone else, okay, I'm hearing for everyone else, right, it's got to mean that, because that's all that it means to me. That's my personal truth. Right? And that's what has meaning to me. So you're siding with the reality that is very personal to you. And there's a question of, what do I need to close out? What do I need to release in terms of actual physical, tangible, material assets? How do I reform? And there's this very, very, very quick turnaround with that. Extremely fast processing, okay, of, I'm hearing behaviors, right? Like, okay, but I've been doing this doesn't serve me, right? I keep thinking these thoughts like this in a certain way. I keep brushing my teeth in a certain way. That doesn't serve me. That doesn't serve me. That doesn't serve me. So it's like you're understanding every little bit, okay, every cog, piece of machinery, right, that goes into the churning of these wheels, and you're getting it that I've got to reformat the way that I pursue my truth, my emotional truth, my independence. How do I pursue my independence? And that's what you're seeking. You're seeking this independence, this flight, this transformation. And you've got this Judgment card right at the apex of your reading, side by side, this Five of Cups in reverse. So it's the moment when, right, there's this siding with the self. What is right for us as the individual, right? And further, where is it that we want to go? And what takes us there? What is the path there? Even if I can only fly that path alone, solo, right? Not necessarily flying with everyone in tandem, everybody being in harmony. It's like, that's an ideal, and that comes, right, by way of first finding your path, and whoever aligns with that path, whoever, right, vibrates at that same frequency, who flaps their wings in the same sort of order, okay, is yours. I'm hearing is yours, is in your, I'm hearing your, I'm hearing your solitude and your path. So where you seek to hone in on the spaces of, I'm hearing for you a number of you silencing the mind, where we are in that quiet space and yet in harmony. You find, I've got to first enter that space alone. I've first got to understand what takes me there as an individual. And then, right, who happens to fly by and catch my drift and want to come in and join me at that point, right, is aligned. So, but there's this very, very, very rapid turnaround, I almost said Scorpio, Sagittarius, of the actual literal things, the actions, the behaviors, the patterns, the habit patterns, the lifestyle patterns, even things that seem, in a way perhaps foreign to the objective, the emotional objective. You're understanding everything that I do contributes on an energetic level, on a physical, tangible, material level, to where it is that I'm going. It either takes me there, right, or it gets me stuck in the mud in some kind of way, perhaps with the emotional side of the story of it. So it's almost like this, right? Everything holds a charge. Everything holds energy. Everything I'm hearing for you specifically holds magnetism. Okay, so, how do I attract what it is? How do I align with, set my sights on what I vibrate with at a very, very deep level? Right? And I'm hearing without sacrificing the whole. So there's something about the attraction, okay, of what it is that you align with, that you see is your destiny, so to speak. It's a matter of recognizing that, embodying that in every shape and form. And whatever it may be a sort of habit that's carried over from a certain time, a certain place, a certain relationship, a certain frequency, whatever it may be, right? Environment, that it was just a habit. It's like, I always did it that way, right? Well, that I actually started doing that when I was with so-and-so, or I started doing that when I was living in this place that I didn't vibrate with, right? That I didn't align with vibrationally. There is an understanding now of, wait a second, right? The energetic archives underpin, right, the flight that I take, the motion. I'm hearing the shape of my motion. And so you're taking a very close look at that, what needs sort of releasing, and the new moon is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time for that. And there may be, I'm going to mention this as well, you pulled the Father of Swords in reverse, the Six of Wands in reverse. There is this, perhaps an individual, okay, of the air element, someone who's very, very sort of logical, but also has this creative propensity within them that's obvious, but that they may not capitalize on really fully, okay, in a very outward way. There's this, perhaps this referencing to matters of, I'm hearing partnership for a number of you, and the marriage of, I'm hearing these two souls, these two beings, these two, be it the two beings within this individual, within you, right, or between you and this other individual. So there's this polarity, and there's this question of, how do we bring these two polarities together in such a way where, right, we all take flight. All take flight. The two halves of my being coming together, and the two halves of your being coming together. And or, right, if this is not speaking to a partnership for you in particular, right, it may resonate differently for everyone. This may be speaking to the, I'm hearing the ideals, okay, the rational mind, and how that, the shaping of ideals that surround how we feel, how it is that we feel we are compelled to move, okay, and to transform, is coming, I'm hearing, into order. So it's like you're finding the place for how the process of thinking about what you feel, just impulsively, intuitively, has its place, okay, but is perhaps to be controlled, okay, in such a way where there's I'm hearing greater measure given to these feelings. So it's almost like if you've been thinking a lot about what it is that you've been feeling, that you know you've been feeling or not feeling, right? A sense of emotional satisfaction. The clarity is now coming to giving equal weight to what thought patterns, right, serve me. What, right, the perception of the transformation that I'm making, right? In what way do I encourage that transformation and the authenticity of it that speaks to me? And in what ways, in what ways do I evolve? Okay, by way of my perception of how I should change. Okay, how I should change. So there's this focus, though, for you on how do I want to change? Where do I want to go? Where have I known is the right place just for me? And I want to honor that. I want to honor that landscape that calls me. And yet again, it's greatly an emotional one, all right? So, and you have here as well the Father of Pentacles, two fathers in your spread here. There may be, butterfly. Not a butterfly, but I mentioned a butterfly, a hummingbird, zoomed by the window here just now. And right, there was a little wink there. So whatever you may consider, right, a butterfly or a hummingbird to resemble for you personally, right, there may be a message there for you. Nonetheless, there's as well Father of Pentacles character, two fathers, Father of Swords upright, Father of Pentacles upright, overlaying the Mother of Wands upright, overlaying the Four of Swords in reverse, overlaying the Nine of Cups in reverse, Ten of Pentacles upright, Four of Wands upright, Three of Swords upright, Three of Cups upright, and the Mother of Cups in reverse. There's, okay, lots of characters here. This may be a family situation. All right, this may be dealing with, almost, I'm hearing it's like multiple parties, there's very much a feeling of a collaboration here, okay, in the third dimension, okay, in like the actual day in and day out, right, experiencing of the channeling of our energy, right? How on a day-to-day basis, right? Who and what comes through our path? What questions of who it is that we are to collaborate with comes through our path, our mental path. But there's also this point of culmination. Okay, of how I assimilate it all, how I bring it all together. And there's this, there's a focus on culmination for you in terms of perhaps family. I'm getting that for a number of you, family, others, how I collaborate with others, and also in terms of resources. So you have here the Father of Pentacles motioning over, looking over at the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So it may be pertaining to the understanding of the contribution of our resources, tangible, material, financial assets, in terms of how we want to make measurable progress and growth into the long term in such a way, right, where it's conducive, not in such a way that anchors us to what we create, but that liberates us from what holds us back from creating in some kind of way what really aligns with us. All right, so thank you so very much, Sagittarius, for tuning in. I hope this reading was helpful for you. Happy new moon eclipse. And I'll be back soon with your September reading, so stay tuned for it. Otherwise, feel free to check out your other signs that you may feel have some crossover for you, your moon, your rising, ascendant. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. All right, bye, Sagittarius. Okay, let's get over here to Capricorn. Hi there, Capricorn. I hope you're doing well. It's new moon eclipse. Powerful energy here for us all. Let's see what's in store for you in particular, Capricorn. I'm hearing breaking out of the box, breaking out of the eggshell. Okay, let us see what this is all about. You have here the Son of Pentacles upright, who seems to be looking off into the past. Very interesting. There's a lot of energy, a lot of characters that are looking off into the past from the present time. So you have the Son of Pentacles. Then you have this other stack here that almost lingers over the corner of this Son of Pentacles card. It's the Hierophant, Taurus's card, overlaying the Father of Wands in reverse, overlaying the Two of Swords upright, overlaying the Four of Pentacles upright, overlaying the Ten of Wands in reverse. Okay, overlap with Sagittarius, the Four of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. You then have the Three of Cups upright. Ooh, okay, so take a look at this. All right, something to do with this Father of Wands here. And the Father of Wands just flipped over upside down onto the Son of Pentacles, almost covering the sight. Okay, the Son of Pentacles, almost it's like a guard, okay? Like it's like a night guard, something about night shift, night guard, something to do with being in the dark about something, perhaps, in terms of actions. So let's see further here what cards popped out for you. You have the Three of Wands in reverse. You have the Temperance card upright, overlaying the Tower. You have the Five of Pentacles upright. So transformation. Okay, but you, let me get to the theme cards here. You have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, the Two of Wands upright, and the Nine of Pentacles that sits right beneath these two twos. Okay, Nine of Pentacles upright, and the Ace of Wands right beneath the Nine of Pentacles. So let me tune in for you. I almost said Aquarius and Sagittarius at the same time, so there may be some crossover. You have crossover with Sagittarius that we've seen, and Sagittarius' card popped out for you. All right. Sagittarius is motioning over to these two twos, the Two of Pentacles in reverse, the Two of Wands upright. I'm feeling for a number of you that there's a question of, I'm hearing assets and reforming of what it is. I'm hearing ideals for a number of you, but an ideal of assets, something to do with how do I channel my efforts and my I'm hearing my material, tangible efforts, okay, and perhaps my resources in such a way that aligns with me and my vision. And there may be a conflict of some sorts in terms of, right, how do I and my vision align with that of other parties involved, right? What is my vision? What is my vision for the future? But there's this focus, this turning of the head into the past, okay? And it may be by way of a certain partnership, okay, that you hold, a certain, there's absolutely a review of what was it, okay, that obstructed our vision, my vision. And you're taking this sober look, you're taking a very sober look at whatever happened in the past that yet again was not conducive, or what actions taken did not properly serve whatever this perhaps this partnership was as well, or the utilization, I'm hearing, of measures, of tangible measures, of resources, yet again, right? And how that is channeled in such a way to best serve our personal ideals, okay, and our creative vision, our creative assets. So, Father of Wands, right, overlaying the Son of Pentacles, and there's a focus, and it fell out of this this stack for you at the Hierophant. Here, Taurus's card. There's a focus on either an individual who I'm hearing does not comply with order, with the order, with the finances, something to do with your I'm hearing your objective, and there's you're almost I'm hearing scapegoating for a number of you, but there's this something I'm hearing, hidden measures, hidden ideals, hidden motives, perhaps, okay, and it's an investigation, okay, of some kind. I'm getting strongly investigation that is being undertaken here in terms of what happened, okay, what went wrong in a certain way, perhaps, and hopefully not, right, anything wrong. It's never sort of something wrong. It's right, always a matter of our perception and everything happening sort of for a reason. But there's this I'm hearing this junction, okay, this junction of ideals and extremes and on both parties, and who plays what role, who characterizes what role, and how do we speak out about what it is that we stand for on either side of the spectrum, right? Both parties communicating that very personal stance, okay, and standing for the actions that we stand for, right? Saying, yeah, you know what, I did that. I believed in that. That's what I wanted to do, because that's what I feel perhaps comfortable doing. That's what I feel connected to doing, because I feel it takes me to this place that speaks to why I'm even doing it in the first place. right? So there's a sort of formalized, okay, approach to what it is that calls us into the future, and what it is from the past that we may have, I'm hearing, dabbled in, experimented with, that somehow connects us nevertheless, to how it is that we understand these ideals, understand this vision, okay? And so you have this Five of Pentacles upright, mirroring Temperance. You have the Tower. You realize, I almost said Scorpio, okay, and Scorpio got the Tower as well, okay? So there may be some overlap with you and Scorpio, okay? But there's this realization that something needs to change. To reshape, to reformat the financial situation, the how things grow from here on out, how things progress, the measurable progress that's made in such a way that is creative, exciting, and entrancing, okay, enticing. Something needs to change in the way that, right, what is even, I'm hearing, our objective, what is our ideal, what is our goal, and that goal has to be sort of the shining example, the emblem, I'm hearing, of the faith, okay, that we hold, that we can even achieve it. So what it is that we see, the vision that we hold, let that be our marker, right, of what we want to create and why. And why. And how is it that we feel connected deeply to that vision, right? What calls us to move through this portal, right? This vortex, I'm hearing the simulation of effects, again, of polarities, and I'm seeing many different forces, many different effects, many different, almost like it's like debris elements moving through, assimilating into this portal. So where things have disintegrated, they're now coming back into form in some kind of way, but I don't feel that that's quite yet. I'm feeling that it's a process of, right, looking back and understanding, wait, how, right, taking all the pieces apart, the disintegration, and seeing every piece for what it is, and then all of that coming into form slowly but surely. It's you have your head turned, you're turning back as you move through this portal. I almost said Sagittarius and Scorpio again at the same exact time. So there may be overlap with Scorpio and Sagittarius for you, Capricorn, but yet again, it's like this. You're moving through slowly, and we are in Mercury retrograde, okay? But I see you know that you're moving towards this grand transformation, okay? You're moving through this portal, and to this portal, but you have your head turned, and you're watching as all of these bits and pieces that are flowing, these embers of space, I'm hearing space and light moving through with you almost into the portal. But it's an understanding yet again of, right, how is it that we're all moving to this point? Let me understand how we even got here. And how, right, we all are comprised of the same matter. So it's understanding the matter, okay, in terms of taking it apart and seeing the parts for the greater whole, and understanding that it's all together that we move through, right, the portal. We've got to assimilate. We've got to, hearing, master our sources, okay, and it may be a formal partnership. Okay, I'm hearing, ooh, did you see that? My hair catching onto this button. That has not happened for any one of the signs. So this is, right, it's like, it may absolutely be a partnership, right? It's bound, legally bound, something to do with feeling like it's not like I have to comply with the forces. It's not about, right, packing my things and leaving. It's not about, well, I don't align with that and you do and we're not, right? It's like, how are we all, we're all in this together. We were all in this together. How do we all, move apart from it and through it? And so that may require us to zoom out from it and right before we zoom back into it. So it's a beautiful time to understand what takes you there, right? To that place that you inevitably understand that you are all moving towards in a certain way. And of course, right, general reading may pertain differently to everyone. Always heed your personal intuition, Capricorn. But I almost said Sagittarius again. Sagittarius wants to speak out for you, Capricorn. There's, right, the focusing on, yet again, right, what takes us there, literally takes us there. And so while I'm getting there's an emphasis on the individuality, right, Two of Pentacles in reverse, overpinning the Two of Wands upright, there's an emphasis on the individuality, but also, right, how my individuality mirrors the individuality in some shape or form of others. How we all inherently have a sense of individuality, and how we all have to honor and embody that individuality, and what brings us that internal frequency, that balance, in such a way where we're all flying. We're all flying. Okay, and right, it's that it may have to do with finances, assets, right? How do we all find our balance with how we project ourselves, how we make of ourselves our vision, our creativity in the third dimension, right? And right, how does everyone play a part? How does everyone play a part in that? And and why? Why are we all playing that part? So it's getting to the core, okay, of yet again the vision of where you're all moving, and that may bring greater clarity to, yet again, on a very personal level, on a very personal dimension, you as an individual, how you're moving through the process, how you have perhaps been moving through the process, and what brings you further deeper into it with a greater sense of calibration, yet again, of the self, and feeling that you are a purposeful part of the greater whole as well, right? So there's this internalization and externalization, this zooming in and this zooming out of the process of manifestation and creation, all right? So thank you so very much, Capricorn, for tuning in, and I'll be back soon with your September reading. One more card wants to pop out for you. It's the Ten of Swords in reverse. So there's a focus on, yet again, the perception, okay, and the many varying perceptions. I'm hearing plot points, right? And how, right, there may be, inevitably, in any process, there may be many different factors. There may be many different opinions, viewpoints, perspectives, and they may all hold true in their own way. And it's a matter of coming to terms with that, the varying degrees of reality that make it everyone's reality, right? So thank you so much again, Capricorn, for tuning in, and I'll be back soon with your September reading. All right, so enjoy the new moon in this process of newfound understanding and depth, okay, of where you've been and where you're going from here on out. Set those intentions, Capricorn, and I'll see you soon. Bye. All right, let us move on to Aquarius. Aquarius. There's so much fast-moving energy here for you. I am feeling it. Let's get right into it. You're up and out. Okay. Alrighty. Very interesting. Let me first say that this one stack, the Three of Pentacles overlaying the Emperor upright, overlaying the Ace of Swords upright, overlaying the Four of Swords in reverse. Beautiful. Okay, so much newness. But with these four cards, they flipped over. It was like a tumble. Right, it almost felt like a very sort of acrobatic but graceful dive. Okay, and so the stack just flipped right over and flopped onto the table here, right over this Nine of Cups in reverse, mirroring the Daughter of Pentacles upright with the Mother of Wands in the dead center. Okay, so something about creativity, creative new beginnings that speak to the understanding of who we are, what we dream of, what takes us there, what actually takes us there. Right? Is it a bus? Is it a train? Is it a flight? Is it my very own four legs? Right? What takes me there? And so there's a question of the actual, perhaps physical, material, tangible diameters, okay, and parameters of this consecration of your land that will be the home to what you create, to what you birth in a way, right? Being, however you consider that. So any sort of creative process being a process of birth, right? So I'm getting that there's a strong focus, and if not in this very moment, very soon, and you understand it's like, pretty soon I'm going to start thinking about really how this is all going to pan out. And I'm getting in terms of land as well. I'm hearing rationing of land as well. Something that's very practical to your nature here, and yet honoring of what is based in feelings, in emotions, and also impulsivity, right? The impulsivity of what we feel. and the rawness of those emotions, of that emotional reaction, of that creative process. What is that? But the question is, yet again, how do I take that which is dynamic, that which is creative, that which is varied from moment to moment in the greater cycle I'm hearing of transformation, of birth, of the self? And how do I stabilize that? How do I bring that into a form and give it a foundation that makes for, I'm hearing, the proper room for growth? So it's very interesting because I'm seeing this Mother of Wands. She's peering through. It's almost like this portal, okay, between, it's like the open space between the Nine of Cups upright and the Daughter of Pentacles. She's peering right down between these two cards, right, at the void. And she's, right, harboring her eggs. She's harnessing, right, holding to her own what she deems to be her future. And so, but she, as much as she's taken by the moment, as much as absorbed as she is in the moment of holding to her, I'm hearing her livelihood, she's focused, so focused at the same time on where that livelihood leads her, leads itself, transforms into the future. I'm hearing in the greater collective. So it's a matter of, what is it that I create? How does that affect, I'm hearing, generations to come? What is it that I create? What does it mean for others? And it's almost like I'm going to take these seeds and I'm going to sprinkle them on this land, but I'm thinking beyond that. What are those seeds, right? And what is even the process of me sprinkling those seeds upon this land? What does that actually mean when I'm connecting the dots through time and space? Right? It's like the wind blows, a gust of wind takes some of the seeds off into like further patches, right, out. So there's this process of dissemination, okay, of creativity, and the question of what is it that we create, not only in this moment, but what we create for not only ourselves, but everyone. It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful, Aquarius. And there's this this connectedness, okay, to, yes, yourself through the process of your creativity, of this question of, right, how do I bring this about in a formal, concrete way? I'm hearing that's well-formed, okay. It's very personal, but at the same time, there's this, I'm hearing this grand entrance and this awareness of the greater collective at the very same time. So, all right, let us see. I'm going to read off the other cards here that you have for you. The Father of Cups upright. You have the Magician in reverse, who's looking over, not at the Father of Cups. They are together right next to each other, but the Magician has its eye on the Daughter of Pentacles. Okay, so lots of characters here for you, but you have a lot of really interesting eye contact that's being made throughout your spread. You have the Son of Pentacles in your theme, looking over at it's very, very, very interesting. The Father of Cups is making this, almost this psychic contact, okay, with the Son of Pentacles. And the Magician is making this, it's almost like a, not a predatory, but it's almost like a I see you, you don't see me sort of connection, okay? Magician looking over the Daughter of Pentacles. 2 court cards for the Pentacles suit. And you have here the Son of Pentacles overlaying the Temperance card, Sagittarius. Okay, overlaying the Tower. All right, so there is utmost focus on how I bring all my oars into order. Literally, all, like, what goes into the setting of this foundation, right? If it's an actual birth, I'm setting the home, right? I'm getting ready. I'm here, design something, design. I'm getting that very, very strongly for you, Aquarius. There's tangible, literal measures by which you are ordering, okay, your efforts, and it's like organized efforts. That's what I'm getting for you, and it may yet again be community efforts, communal efforts. How do let's all work together to get this foundation in motion, right? So there's a sense of movement that takes a sort of a streamlined form, right? And so it's all of these efforts coming to a culmination, right? A certain directive awareness of where we're all moving, and there's this understanding and the setting down of any sort of thought forms that do not serve the awakening process. Okay, and there's just it's like inversion, absolute inversion, right? You're very, very, very clearly recognizing this thought pattern doesn't serve me. This confounds my personal truth, my vision, my light, right? However you take it, however you feel it, Aquarius, I'm feeling that there's a siding with truth. There's a siding with your personal equilibrium, your personal values. I'm getting not only you as an individual, I'm getting you and others, the community that you stand for in the future, the community that you know is waiting for you in the future to stand for it, to capacitate it, right? I don't feel that it's right. Just right, one sort of this is my personal truth, just me standing there and professing that. I don't feel that for you, of course. I feel it's right, but of course, take it as you will. But for a strong number of you, I'm feeling that it's in a greater sort of I'm getting a greater membered body, right? It's not seeing myself as the individual, but seeing myself as part of the collective. What is my vision? What is my truth, my value? What is a value that I bring? And how does that value connect back to it all? To everyone who was involved in the process, who continues to feed the process and the growth of it, to continually transform. So there's a cyclical nature to it, absolutely. It's almost like you, right, feeding back into the system. How do I feed these morals? And there's perhaps a focus on children for you, child systems, children, something to do with, right, the foundation, perhaps even schooling. Okay, now, Father of Cups swimming over into the Magician in reverse. Very, very, very interesting. There's perhaps, for a number of you, a water individual, someone with a lot of water in their chart, someone who is very feeler type, but what I'm getting is like very, very, very feeler type. Okay, someone who is almost closed, feels so much that they can't even communicate. Like they just feel so much, and they're very Neptunian, right? Where you're in their presence, and they just look at you, and they're feeling you, and you're feeling them feeling you, but no words are exchanged, sort of feeling. Okay, that sort of interaction. That I'm getting for a number of you. It may be speaking to an individual who's like that. Okay, someone who, yet again, feels so much but doesn't necessarily even communicate it with like a logical sense of discernment, not because they necessarily don't want to, not because they're hiding that, but because there is this, it's like there's so much that they're feeling that they're still processing what they're feeling. They're busy feeling what they're feeling. Okay, that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting here. So you have the Magician here looking over at the Father of Cups, but the Father of Cups doesn't even see the Magician, right? And so look at this interaction here. And so pertaining to this individual, be it your very own propensity, this may be right inside of you, but I'm getting for a strong number of you, this is almost like I'm getting auxiliary, something to do with auxiliary. Take it as you will, Aquarius. I almost said Sagittarius though. Okay, so take it as you will, absolutely, with that as well, because you have a Temperance card. Okay, but there's this process of transformation of the self that perhaps this individual, Father of Cups, is prompted with to experience, but they haven't yet even recognized that it's an opportunity for transformation. They haven't even there's a bit of it's like a daze, okay? It's almost like a Neptunian, yet again, sort of mist around this individual where they don't even really, and I'm getting this almost this feeling of like biting on my ankle, okay? So it's almost, there's this wake up, there's this slow tinging, this waking up, okay, this like pinch me from this dream sort of feeling. And it's stimulated by, and it stimulates them too as well. Experience their reality, create the reality, recognizing beyond just what they feel, about it, but almost also it's like stimulating the action to in varied perspectives of who they are, and the different measures that can be taken to bring this creation, whatever it is, creativity, creation, into focus, into motion. Right, but in such a way where you're not just floating, but you're feeling what it is that you want to create, rather than just feeling what you want to create. So the emphasis is on action, okay, and I'm getting that sooner or later, there's going to be this sort of the stimulation, this rising up. It's like when you're about to give birth, right? It's the knock on the door, right? The baby's here. And when you go into labor, you're not, right? There's no way that you can be sleeping, so to speak, right? But as I'm getting it here, Aquarius, whoever this individual is, right? And whatever state they may be in, right? And it may be pertaining to your very own energy, especially if you have a lot of water in your chart, okay? But what I'm getting is there is a knowing that the stimulation is going to come, that this opportunity has been here and will be I'm hearing made the most of, taken advantage of in a certain way, not taken advantage of, but harnessed, right? Acknowledged. Even if it's not in this very moment, it's just not time yet. And so where there's been a sort of standstill, okay, and just like floating along the river of feelings, okay, you or this other individual recognizes that it's coming. Even if, yet again, this is what I'm getting. If it's another individual, it's not that it's like subconscious. It's subconscious, and Pisces, Neptune rules the 12th house of the subconscious mind, right? So it's like a haze. It's like a dream, but what I'm getting is that if you are on the outside of this picture and you see this person and you see them from your kind of outside perspective, you recognize, you understand that this is coming. That this stimulation, that this birth is coming, that this opportunity, I'm hearing this travel is coming. This transformation is, I'm hearing, abound. And what I'm getting for a number of you is that the Mother of Wands and the Magician are somewhat connected. Okay, it's almost as if the Magician is also making eye contact through the Daughter of Pentacles to the Mother of Wands. So it's like, I know, right? It's like, I'm going to go and stimulate him in some kind of way. I'm going to, right? And the Father of Cups doesn't really know what's coming. The Father of Cups is focused on somewhat the future. It's just floating kind of, in a way, perhaps. And, right, but it's like there's a lot of dialogue that's not being spoken. And there's a lot that's known on levels that are not really even understood and known. It's just kind of like the winking of the eye, right? It's like, what I'm imagining is, an analogy is, like, for example, right? Let's say the child comes home from school and is had a certain experience and was kind of sad about something that happened, and they go and they come home and they're kind of down and out, and so both of the parents see that the child is not really in the best of spirits, so to speak, and so one of let's say the mother whispers off to the the father, however gender it is, that, you know, they're kind of sad. You know, maybe you should go talk to him and ask him about, right, however this class went or whatever, right? And so the child, though, doesn't hear this dialogue that's ongoing, and doesn't really expect it, is in the moment of feeling what they're feeling, okay? And right, but then one of the parents goes over to the child and starts, right, engaging him or her or them, right? Talking to them, stimulating them to even release these emotions, to come to terms with these emotions, to understand these emotions, to speak about them, There's an emphasis on speaking about the emotions. So, right, but and so from a distance, I'm seeing it almost like this parent who's speaking to the child is almost looking over, glancing over to where the other parent, and they know kind of, right, what is going on in the greater whole, but the child doesn't really fully understand the network of energy that's taking place in that moment, in that interaction. So there are a lot of characters here, right? There are a lot of characters here, and I'm getting that there is yet again a connection between the magician and the mother of wands, and there's this it's almost like, okay, go, like it's also kind of a little bit like an investigative sort of feeling and detective work. So it's almost like, right, two detectives walk into I'm hearing a ball, or also a bar. Okay, a bar or a ball, and it's like they go in almost undercover, right? There's no one's really expecting them to even be there, and they don't even know who these individuals are really, perhaps. But there's this feeling, there's this air of knowing something, okay, and there's this energy it's like a stirring sort of energy in ways that you can't put your finger on, you just can't quite explain. And so people are talking to each other. It's like people, there's this dialogue, yet again, this dialogue, but that is not outspoken, okay? So thank you so very, very much, Aquarius, for tuning in. I hope this reading was helpful for you in some sort of way, and I hope you have a beautiful new moon, profound new beginnings here for all of us under the shadow of this light. And I will be back soon with your September readings, and again, so tune into those. If you are compelled to watch another sign, please feel free. I know that I resonate a lot with my moon sign, even more than my sun sometimes. And rising ascendant also may resonate for you, as well as Venus for matters of love, matters of creativity, hobbies, finances, even career. All right. So thank you so much again, Aquarius, for tuning in to your new moon reading. Have a beautiful, beautiful new cycle of this moon, and I'll see you soon. Bye. All right. Let us see here, Pisces. What is going on with Pisces? Feeling throughout this new moon. Let us see. You're separating. You're separating, okay? And Becky to mention it like this. Yourself, you're separating, there's this distance. You're spacing things out, okay? Isolating variables. Seeing things in a very almost detached way. Right? So where there was like an accordion, okay, of I'm hearing principles, levels, energy, okay, people, conversations, words, you're like, I see you, you're pulling apart this accordion, and you're taking this pair of scissors and you're almost snipping up every sort of angle, edge, okay, that connected each flap of this accordion, and you're separating, you're taking all these pieces of, I'm hearing wire, okay, for a number of you. You're taking all of these sheets, okay, I'm hearing of energy, and you're laying them out to dry. There's something about understanding what has been so deeply held beneath the surface, okay, but in such a way where, I mean, it's like almost like a dissection. That's what I'm getting with you, Pisces, like a strong dissection, okay, of taking a very close look, but it's almost, I'm getting this like objective, detached, way in which you're doing this, and which is very interesting because Pisces is normally very much of a feeler, empathic, emotionally involved, responsive to what is around them and what's not around them, right? Like you feel beyond what is really even sensible physically, right? So, but I don't get that here with you. What I'm getting here with you, Pisces, is you're picking apart the pieces without any sort of expectation. And I'm hearing it's a ruthlessness to the way in which you are preparing for this departure. Okay, so you are literally, you're like, you're so clear. You're so very clear, Pisces, on what this transformation is, on what this transformation means for you, on what it is that you've experienced, and what that has foiled for you in the present time. That you're ready. You're ready to make it. You're ready to make it happen. You're accepting the experience. You're accepting what was. You're accepting what is. You're accepting that it all leads you to what comes, I'm hearing, before it and also after it. The premonition of this, I'm hearing this escape for a number of you, I'm hearing. I'm getting for a number of you that there's a departure. I'm hearing on set. Departure on set. I'm hearing also on site. And you have a plane taken off right there for you, Pisces. You're getting ready, I'm hearing, to lay the pieces to rest. Okay, I'm hearing the collective bodies, embers of beings. Okay, collective bodies, embers of being. You're understanding who was who and what for what. You're understanding who was and what was. Present through the whole time of experiencing the whole ball game of this life experience for you. You're I mean, literally, it's like a graduation. It's like a culmination. You're picking the pieces apart. You're pulling the papers apart. You're packing things back up by packing them first out of the places in which they were held, so that you understand what you're putting exactly into this luggage as you embark upon this next chapter in your life. You're like, I'm not laying a single shred of evidence of where I've been into this parcel that's dispatched with me, as me, into my future, unless it vibrates with me, standing here right before the change. You're so clear, you're so adamant, Pisces, on what takes you there, to that happy place. And you're understanding with great clarity how you've been moving there all along. And once this seriousness, right, is passes, once right, this, I'm literally seeing you so serious, like, just as if you are a surgeon of your own energetic sort of story, right? Picking apart the pieces. And you're sunning them, okay? And I'm specifically seeing you're so you may be cleansing, literally cleansing things, people, right? Not going to hold it to you, Pisces. Whatever it is that you're doing, right? And whatever way that you may resonate with this, however it may apply to you, there's this release, this detoxification, but I'm not getting just release for the sake of release. Like, oh, I'm throwing that out. That not coming with me on this next chapter. I don't feel that it's like that for you, Pisces. I feel that it's a matter of, hold on, everything is purposeful, everything is meaningful. Yes, perhaps it doesn't contribute any longer to the journey that calls me, but I want to understand what it meant for me and how it was purposeful in the past, and that requires of me to pull it apart from all of these converging factors, realities, that simulation of all, I'm hearing embers of effect, all bodies of light, to separate the variables yet again, to see each one for what it is, right? It's like there's this word I'm looking for. It's like this, Pisces. What you're looking at, you don't want to feel that there could be an influence of any sort of overlapping energy, effect, being, experience, perspective projected onto whatever it is that you're looking at. Because yet again, you want to see it for what it is, and it's a very sort of plutonic, scorpionic energy, okay, that I'm feeling. And so you're taking it under the magnifying glass, Pisces. But yet again, okay, so there, but I was going to say, right, there's this, after this sort of the seriousness, okay, is moved through, and you lay it all out, and right, you cleanse, okay, you cleanse, you purify your relationship to whatever these parts are energetically. You then, it's like then there's this this lightness, and you feel this release that is collective from you, not from the pieces. Yet again, I'm not feeling it's like, oh, I'm gonna release that. I'm gonna trash that. I'm gonna throw that across the room over there, like far right. I'm out the window. I don't want to deal with that. No, I am seeing it as like, and it's not even, let's say once you cleanse it, I'm not feeling it's like you're feeling the release from every cleansed part. I'm getting at that it's the holistic body of even the process of it all. The simple adherence to the value, I'm hearing the value proposition of what are your values and how you have experienced projecting them through time, through space. And coming to the point where you want to, again, take a very sober approach to understanding the dissemination of values that gives you this lightness all at once, where you just feel everything. And I'm hearing it doesn't take you down, where you feel everything and it doesn't take you down. Because yet again, and what I'm getting for you, Pisces, like, you know, Pisces is a very, yet again, empathic sort of energy. It's a porousness to your nature, especially if you have a lot of Pisces in your chart, right? It's a lot of feeling. I have a lot of Pisces. I know how it goes, right? But it's, right, generally, unless you've got a lot of Earth in your chart, it can be sort of difficult. It could be challenging and testing to form that that construct of understanding of what are my emotions and what are those emotions that are outside of me in some sort of way. What is it that I contribute to, and what is it that I receive, that I adapt to? And I'm getting that what you're establishing here conceptually, energetically, is the framework of where you stand in relation to everything else. And there's a sense of relativity that you're coming to terms with. So the boundaries, the boundaries, I'm getting the health force, the healthy boundaries that are energetic are being fortified, right? It's almost like this auric energy that you are contributing to within yourself consciously now, very consciously. You're taking it very, very seriously. And so you're like, wherever the muddled parts were, I'm going to all of the pieces of paper that got stuck together because of my water bottle opened in my backpack and spilled all over my papers, and now they're all stuck together. I'm going to separate them and lay them. I'm hearing lay them to rest. Okay, now you have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse and the Daughter of Wands in reverse, both at the base of this Mother of Cups in reverse, which sits at your apex. Okay, so this is you, Pisces, right? Mother of Cups, strong water energy. You have the Son of Pentacles, very interesting, in your theme, looking over from a far distance, but certainly looking over at this whole interaction, and you are looking similarly over to the Son of Pentacles. Okay, but I said Mother of Pentacles. So there's almost this association, this duality, this duplicity. This may be your very own energy, Son of Pentacles. Okay, but it may be the energy of another. Okay, another individual, perhaps with a lot of earth in their chart, someone who's very strategic, focused, very more. I'm hearing logical for a number of you, okay, but one who's seems to be very much directive in terms of where and how they channel their energy and their resources, of where they're going, okay, and there may be a strong focus on career and finances with this individual, okay. You then have Temperance upright, underpinning the Son of Pentacles, okay. So I'm hearing silencing action. Beneath this Temperance card, you have the Tower upright. Okay, so lots going on in your theme here, and a lot of cards have been getting the Son of Pentacles. A lot of signs have been getting the Son of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Tower. And you have the Five of Pentacles beneath the Tower as well. Okay. Now, in reverse. Beautiful. Upright. But, okay, it is the Fool that you have in reverse, beneath the Five of Pentacles. So there's a new beginning. The Fool's overpinning the World. Okay, there's a new beginning. Okay, in terms perhaps, but I'm thinking once all is come to terms with, once you sort it all out, Pisces, that's when things begin again. That's when things take their turn, right? But in directions that you may not understand yet, okay? And it requires of you to focus, okay, on where you are going, because that is inevitably the path always to take you to the transformations that precede. I'm hearing that precede. And so it's like, well, can't depart until I'm packed. I've got to pack. I've got to unpack to pack. And so it's that process that you're honing in on. It's that process that is the fundamental core point, the philosophy of your being. You're recognizing it's about me and all my things that I've got to take control of and deal with and sort and put in their place, right? To find right, myself in the places that I'm going. And I accept whatever comes. I accept my greatness, okay, wholeheartedly, and there's a focus on that, absolutely. And so, if this is you, Pisces, Son of Pentacles, there is a determination, right? There's a focus on the long-term projectile of where this whole process is taking you, and it has to do with, right, the determined sort of nature of the channeling, okay, of your energies. And it's like you realize, you're like, well, right, that's my objective, if that's my goal, I'm the one who takes me there. And if I'm the one who takes me there, I've got to be, right, my best self. I've got to be balanced. I've got to be in my zone, right? I've got to be standing on the train platform to be ready to take the train. So it's like you're packing, okay, energetically for it. But I'm getting strongly. It's first the unpacking of that, okay, that leads to this grand transformation. So thank you so very much, Pisces. And I'm hearing pillars of light for you. Okay, so yet again, there's a great focus on energetics here. Have a beautiful, beautiful new moon and eclipse, Pisces. Enjoy it, and I will see you soon for your September reading. All right, so also I highly recommend you to check out your rising, ascendant, or moon sign as well, as oftentimes those may provide you with further insights into your situation. I know, for example, I resonate a lot with my moon sign, sometimes even more than my sun, right? Sometimes my ascendant as well. So feel free to check out, right, the signs that you're called to. And yeah, so if you don't know your signs, actually, you can click the link below in the description box that I provide, and those will calculate them for you. All right, so thank you so much again, Pisces. Enjoy this tail end of August, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Oh, Aries. what I'm getting for you, Aries, is you are, it's almost like this. It's almost like you almost just stepped over the line, but then you're like, wait, you took a major step back, and you're like, wait a second. Whoa, wait a second. Okay, there's a recoiling, okay? There's a recoiling where but I'm getting it's largely held in perception of where you stand, right, in relation to either side of the threshold that you nearly stepped over. So there's this retraction I'm hearing retraction of bid. Aha, you pulled here. Very interesting. The Father of Swords. Okay, horizontally laid right beneath, almost right at it. It's like a junction. There's a junction. It's like steps, okay, between the Father of Swords and the Six of Wands. Both horizontal, yet again, right? Parallel, just like this. Right? Just like this. So, now, another sign pulled the Six of Wands, the Father of Swords. Was it Aquarius, perhaps, or Sagittarius? Okay, pulled these same two cards, okay, together. Yes, together, okay, but they were in reverse and not horizontally laid upright. Okay, so you have here as well the Mother of Cups in reverse, motioning over to this void, okay, that as I'm feeling it for you. You have a mother and a father, two different elements here, okay, and the way I'm seeing it is almost like it's like a runway, the runway of a plane, right? This Six of Wands, but it's the runway of your mind, Aries, and I almost said Aquarius. Okay, so twice I almost opened your reading with Aquarius, so you may want to tune into Aquarius's reading, Aries, but. It's almost like what I'm seeing for you is I'm hearing it's a hallmark of fame, something hallmark of fame as well. I'm hearing for a number of you, but there's this runway and there's a projectile, okay, reaching from the near past, recent past, to the far future. Far future, and there's a premonition of what's to come, but there's an understanding that it's our ideals and our perspective that shapes the way that we move into this new beginning. Okay, but what you're feeling, Aries, what I'm getting for you is you're like, wait a second, the plane needs to take off, yes, but I've got to first, it's not about just pushing the plane over the edge of this cliff so it just starts taking off like it's a bird or something. It's like the plane's got to back up, okay, and right, reach the very end of that runway and gradually rev, okay, the energy to the point where it takes off on its own almost, right? Where it lifts off from the sheer momentum and the force and the elongation of that energy force, right? Okay, through time and space. That's how I want to depart. So it's like before you took that step over the ledge, you're like, wait a second, I want to make the most of this. Aha, the most of it. Look, you pull the Ace of Pentacles, Aries, overlaying the Eight of Pentacles, Ace to the 8. This is, whatever this is, long-term goal, whatever the long-term vision. Okay, but it starts with the inkling, the inclination towards the beginning of it. It's I'm hearing the insemination of it, whatever this dream is. You are being guided through the process, be it by, I'm hearing a healer, Mother of Cups, okay, or someone who's very intuitive, somebody who's maybe your very own energy, absolutely, right? And Pisces pulled the Mother of Cups, or maybe someone with a lot of Pisces in their chart. Neptune strongly placed the 12th house, okay, as well. I'm getting someone who's strongly a feeler, but also perhaps there's this feeling of anxiousness, or I'm feeling a little bit perhaps of anxiety to this individual, whoever it may be, perhaps for a number of you. But there's they are almost, there's this coaching you through the process of this, and again, maybe your very own propensity, that which is held in your, I'm hearing your precognitive functions, your precognitive sort of understanding of where you're going, of the projected view, the projectile of whatever this grander transformation is. Okay, so basically it's your intuition. It's your intuitive understanding of the future landscape, right? Of where this simple takeoff takes you, really, right? And so you understand it on a very deep, fundamental level that is, yet again, deep. right? That is not, I see it, I feel it. It's like, no, I feel it, I know that I'm going to see it. But right, it's all held in the seeing, it's all held in the vision, it's all held in the premonition of it. Because that's what charges this new beginning. Right? And I'm hearing telltale signs. There's something perhaps even about counseling for you, okay? Some sort of counseling through the process. You have here the Ace of Pentacles upright, the Eight of Pentacles upright, both. So, but they were in reverse, and they flopped over right in front of this Mother of Cups. She was motioning over to these two cards upside down, right? She doesn't see them, doesn't see what they are, but she knows what they are. Right? And so there's this beckoning, this motioning, okay, the stimulation of the creative imagination of what can come before us by way of the dreaming of this new beginning. Sheerly just the dreaming of this new beginning is what capacitates it in a way, right? So you have here the Daughter of Wands, okay, in reverse, overlaying the Eight of Wands upright, overlaying the Six of Swords upright, happening in your theme. The focus for you is action, but not the action that you necessarily take, that you jump on in this very moment. It's not there's not an immediacy to the action that you're taking. It's the precognitive, it's the preconception of the actions. I'm hearing the idealization of the actions. It's like, I want to make whatever this departure is that I take the very most. I want to make it the most meaningful. I want to make the most of it. And to do that, I've got to accept the process and the journey that leads me to it. And I want to give that my all. I want to give that my time. I want to give it the space to live itself out and through time, the natural cycle. So you're taking your time with this, and there's a focus on the dreaming aspect. How do I want it to look like? Right before I just accept it and jump into it, how do I want it to look like? And thinking about all of the little, very, very fine-tuned, the nuances, right, of it. What does this new beginning actually lead to? What do I want it to lead to? Who do I want to be involved, perhaps, right? And maybe actually focus as well on material, tangible assets that go into the formalization of this dream. How do I want to set that up? How do I want to organize my efforts? I'm hearing the band. How do I want to organize the band? I'm hearing trailblazing team efforts. How do we all come together in such a way that is conducive, I'm hearing, is powerful to understand what takes us all there, and to understand, finally, once we get there, right, why we're there. So Aries, it's like this. It's like, before I step into this new cycle, right, before I begin again, I'm giving my focus to, I'm giving my energy to the understanding of, yet again, the process that takes me there, why I want to get there, what this means to me, the vision of it all, right? And it's the ruminatings and the findings of the intellectual mind that talk you through this process as well. I do feel that there's a strong emphasis on creativity, but it's also literally, right, the discernment of factors, logic, strategy that underpins this departure, right, this run. Hi there, Aries. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened. Just cut off. Didn't realize it wasn't recording. Classic Mercury retrograde. So, right, but there, nonetheless, it seems that there is this interplay between strategy and creativity that underpins this new beginning for you. Okay, so it's very, very exciting. Aries, have a beautiful, beautiful new moon eclipse, and I'll see you soon. Bye. All right, Taurus. Now let's see here. I just was doing Aries' video. It got cut off at the end. I started your reading and realized that it wasn't recording. So, right, from the very tail end of Aries on. So, I pulled your cards, and very interesting. You have the Sun of Swords upright. You have the Sun of Wands in reverse. Two suns. Okay, you then have the Three of Wands in reverse. There is, it seems to be, this polarity of approach towards a creative process. That which is very much based in logic, very much having to do with speaking, writing, right, perhaps legislature, right, the law, legality, and that which complies, right, with the creative side, the creative focus and approach that's dynamic. I'm hearing the story that's untold. Okay, so something about storytelling for a number of you, perhaps, but that, right, yet again, which is unexpected. So, right, just like the way my hair is standing up on end, unexpected, right? There's this feeling of almost a polarity, okay, between the two approaches that I'm getting are right in their own way, are needed in their own way, are required, okay, to I'm hearing to film, to bring the greater motion and body forward, to translate into whatever the purpose is that you are standing for, by bringing both I'm hearing bodies and members of awareness into order. So whatever this is, right, if this is a creative process for you and it requires of you to work with varying I'm hearing individuals, varying sides of the same story, varying methodologies to unleash and unlock this story, you recognize that, right, both excuse me, Taurus, okay, whatever that means to you, coming out with it, right? It's like you can't hold it back. You just it's gotta flow. If you gotta sneeze, it's gotta come out, right? Something's got to happen. And as much of a tempered approach that you may want to take classifies this period, okay, you're recognizing that the focus first is on the story. The focus first is on hearing out what it is that needs to be said, what it is that I'm hearing complies with me on a very deep, intrinsic, impulsive, even level. That which is undeterminable by way of the sheer force, brute will, right? Or the focus of the intellectual mind. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to say it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to organize. I'm going to strategize it. It's like when it flows, it flows. So there's something in it. Perhaps you maybe I'm hearing partnered with two individuals who take very different approaches to the same sort of to reach the same sort of objective. And there's a question of how do we comply with one another, right? Honoring these varying propensities, ways of making motion and movement forward, progress, but also, right, honoring the individuality, the individual parts that we both play, so that we are aerodynamic in our greater momentum through the portal. Okay, the creative vision. So it requires you to kind of take this oversight, okay, and this zoomed out approach to matters that are very internal, okay, very, very internal, that of the mind, the intellectual, rational mind, and that which is by way of right, what we feel impulsively, also intuitively. I'm getting that which we feel at the very core of us, having to do with our emotions, our passions, yet again, our side of the story. So it's the merging of these two hearing onlookers and also forces of ourselves. And yet again, they both are to be taken in equal measure in a certain way. But it seems that there's this standstill in terms of, of approach. Okay, do we, right? It's like on one hand of the spectrum, right? Son of Wands is feeling some, perhaps there's a period of I'm hearing disclosure, okay, but it's almost like behind doors, okay, under wraps. It's this process of understanding what it is that we even want to disclose, and so it's a process of feeling. It's a process of it happens on its own time, right? Feeling fire, it's impulsive. And the Son of Swords rather is like, well, we need to stick to the schedule. What is right, the law? What does the law say about it, right? What is the legislature behind it, so to speak? And right, I'm hearing an organized form. So where there's this dynamism, there's also perhaps this timetable and this need to adhere to a structured sort of form of how we release and communicate these feelings, okay, this passion. So it's a matter of hearing out the polarity here, right, to make the greater motions into this new beginning. So thank you so very much, Taurus, for tuning in to your new moon reading for the eclipse. And Have a beautiful eclipse, new moon. I'll see you soon for your September reading, so stay tuned for it. And thank you so much again for tuning in. Bye, Taurus. All right, Gemini, let us see what's here for you. Ooh, something that's caught your eye, Gemini. Oh my goodness. Okay. You have here the Mother of Pentacles in reverse at the apex of your reading, underpinned by the Ten of Swords, but it said Ten of Wands, so there's something to do perhaps with an overlay of thoughts and actions, strategized behavior as it pertains to the stance that we take in relation to others, upholding our end of the bargain, what it is that I'm hearing the image, the style we project. Okay. There's a fanciful nature. Something is very, very, so there's a bright day here ahead for you, Gemini. And I almost said Taurus, so it may have to do with the Taurus, perhaps. But you have the Fool. Okay, the very first major arcana, beautiful, new beginning, looking over at the Mother of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. Okay, the dawn of a new day. Gemini, there's this thrill, this excitement, there's this question of what comes. This question of what comes by way of letting go of what has been, right? The emotional side of the story that's been unsatisfactory, that just has been awaiting this transmutation. Temperance in reverse beneath the Eight of Cups in reverse. Three of Swords in reverse beneath Temperance in reverse. Seven of Pentacles upright beneath the Three of Swords. Taurus's card. Okay, the Hierophant in reverse. Motioning over to the Seven of Pentacles upright. The Two of Swords in reverse, right beneath the Hierophant. You have the Mother of Wands in reverse, right beneath the Two of Swords. You have the Three of Pentacles. You almost said the Three of Cups. So, something to do with the implementation of emotions in a very tangible, material, concrete way. How are emotions applied to our actual reality in the third dimension? Okay, our day in and day out, sort of daily life habit patterns, I'm getting that as well. There's a reconfiguration of all of that. Okay, of the emotional story, of how we experience our emotions in the third dimension, of how we channel, transform, transmute, use our emotions in such a way where I'm getting, it's exciting now. You're feeling because you're feeling good. Like you're not thinking about what you're feeling. You're not, it's not an analysis paralysis. There's a focus on the what needs to be laid to rest. Okay, in the Hanged Man, this is Pisces' card, Major Arcana, flipping over is a bit of a sticky energy. Okay, and it's right above, in between Ten of Swords and the Mother of Pentacles, both in reverse. So the Hangman is hanging almost right at the off of the ears of this Mother of Pentacles, like almost like a reverse earring. Okay, and so there's this release. Okay, there's this release of what has slowly, right, extroverting out of the cocoon. Okay, and so there's this opening of the self, as I'm getting it. There's this opening of the self by way of releasing the ways that we've seen each other. Okay, but ourselves as playing a certain part in time, playing a certain role. It's the deflowering of the role. It's the understanding that we are not only like the parent, but we're also the child. We're not only, right, upholding this image, we're also, there's a side to us that feels so much, that yearns for so much, that yearns for this new beginning. And it's a matter of understanding, right, the thought patterns that hearing of characterize the role that we've played in the past, okay, and how we've seen ourselves, how we projected ourselves. You have here, your very own element, the Daughter of Swords, okay, Court card. This may be pertaining to your very own energy. I do feel that. Daughter of Swords is mirroring the Hanged Man, and her sword is pointing over to this Ace of Wands, this rapid new beginning. Very, very, very exciting. Something is catching your eye, but also is stimulating your mind. Okay, it's stimulating your creativity of what it's almost like you're imagining where it is you want to go once you completely invert, right, from whatever this shell is that has encased you in a certain way, perhaps in a certain way in this past. Okay, and it has to do with your emotions, it has to do with your passions. Oh my gosh, it's so enlivening. So enjoy it, Gemini. Enjoy this new moon eclipse. Have a beautiful kickoff to this new cycle here ahead of you. And it seems absolutely it has to do with what you call your own in terms of, right, what you create by way of what you feel deeply, right? And it's a very excitatory sort of energy, and it's that sort of stimulus that sets it all into motion for you here as I see it. So thank you so much again, Gemini, for tuning in. Have a beautiful new moon eclipse, and I will see you soon, all right? And okay, I'm back in to mention this. Gemini, I just took a look at the deck again, and you have poking out here the Star, okay, and the Ten of Cups in reverse. So whatever it seems that there is this emotional and very dreamy new beginning. Okay, it has to do with this stand, this vision, this onsight of what it is that gets you, that just gets you, stimulates your dream, right? Your propensity to dream, the dreamy side of you, and it stimulates and it provokes this emotional release. Okay, so thank you so much again for tuning in. I almost said Aries and Pisces at the same time, so you may want to check those videos out as well. Maybe some overlap there for you. Nonetheless, thank you again for tuning in, Gemini. Have a beautiful new moon eclipse. I'll see you soon for September readings. And until then, right, have a beautiful August. Bye. All right. We are on to Cancer. Thank you so very much, Cancer, for tuning in. Happy new moon to you. Eclipse. Let's see. Ooh. Let's get it out here. The Judgment card. You are the fourth sign to pull judgment. Okay, and Leo was the first. So right, new moon and eclipse in Leo. So you have the Four of Swords in reverse, and Aquarius got this card as well. So very interesting. Seems to be some overlap there, perhaps with Aquarius for a number of you. If you're either involved with an Aquarius or you have Aquarius prominently placed in your chart, it seems that there's this focus on unhinging yourself from any sort of thought pattern, mentality that has self-talk that's kept you in the shadow, so to speak, as you may have seen it, as you may have felt it, right? What is my greatness? What is my truth, so to speak? Where is it that I am going? When I'm going to that place, right, that takes me there before I get there, right? When I'm in that zone of zoning in on what is my vision, right? I'm getting strongly in a meditative space, right? Where am I in that moment? Where am I in that moment? And that's where I'm moving. That's where I depart from there. So let us see what this is all about here. Ooh, very interesting. You have the Death card in reverse, mirroring the theme, which is the Three of Pentacles in reverse, overlaying the Star upright, overlaying the Seven of Swords in reverse, overlaying the Eight of Swords upright, 7-8 in sequence, having to do with, right, the air element, the intellectual rational mind, our thought patterns, how we perceive change and transformation. That's the question for you. There's a focus, though, on emotions, on passion, on the channeling of our emotions, of our nurturing energy, of our mothering energy, which is very much inherent to Cancer, right, being ruled by the moon. There's a focus on, right, what understanding of our emotions, of our emotional reality, okay, and channeling how we feel, projecting how we feel into what we create. How does it create, and how does it have an effect that almost drowns out the roots to what we are trying to get going, right? So in other words, Cancer, it's a matter of transformation, and it's a matter of, right, the balance that comes by way of that understanding that we are to transform, right? So it's like to transform, right? Think about it. It's like to change, to transform. It's a transmutational, I'm hearing synergistic effect. So it's like where perhaps you were on one end of the scale, right? Perhaps it was like a strong emphasis on perhaps a lot of water, a lot of emotions, right? A lot of water energy. There's now this focus that, right, on it's time to transform. It's time to change, right? To take everything in equal measure. to take, yes, the water, but to understand it within the context of all of my elements, of all of my propensities, right? To better understand and to stimulate and to acknowledge the presence of where it is that I want to go, right? The presence of that dream within me. So I'm getting that there's a reevaluation and understanding of the emotional side, okay, of the story, and understanding where my emotions stimulate my growth, right? Feed this flower, right, of my essence, of my being, and where it, right, it in a way has kept me in the shadow, in, as you may feel, as you may have, right, I'm hearing heard it, okay, as you may have heard it. So tuning in, there's a tuning in, and there's a resurfacing, okay, in such a way where I don't get that it's like you're just foregoing the emotional propensity, but you're remaining aware of where it stands in relation to your individuality, okay, in terms of, right, your individual dreams. I'm hearing your goals, your assets as well, your gifts, your talents. So it's seeing you within the context of all of you, so to speak, and understanding, how do I really want to give of myself? How do I want to give of myself emotionally? And it may have been a process of right, back and forth. I know, right? Here, seven of cups, right? Seven of cups speaks of that sort of illusionary feeling of not knowing how we feel. Right? We know really how we feel, and you're very intuitive, Cancer, right? Very, very intuitive. Right? Of course, it always, all right, it depends on your personal chart if you have a lot of, right, certain element, how the energies are interacting in your chart. But Cancer is typically a very intuitive energy, right? Being a water energy. So, and we're all intuitive, but it's a matter of, yet again, okay, how you come to terms with what you feel, how you come to terms with what you intuitively understand, and where it is you want to go with that, how it is you want to take that truth, take that energy and channel it into your, I'm hearing your endeavors, okay? I'm hearing of your greatness, however you see it, right? Yet again, your dreams. So now, transformation, absolutely. And there's a process of transforming the foundation of the dreams, right? Of our ideals. You have this underpinning of the star right beneath this Three of Pentacles in reverse. What is it that we need to uproot, right? That holds us on grounds that don't allow us to rise from them to discover more. What holds us within, right, a certain measure, right, of time and space? What allows us to feel stable, but not tied to that stability? Because it constantly allows us to evolve through it. Okay, so thank you so very much, Cancer, for tuning into your reading here. And I'm getting that strongly. There's a focus on the understanding. So sorry about that. Let me put that on silent. All right, but an intuitive understanding, right? There's an intuitive understanding, but then also the sort of very clear discernment of, I'm hearing, what values we align with and what we have not aligned with. And you pulled two sevens, right? Seven of Swords and Seven of Cups. What is it that we just don't agree with? We just don't, something doesn't sit right with us there, right? Even if so many other people may connect with that certain projection, okay, that certain truth, that certain idealism, I don't. It's not my personal truth. And I've got to come out clearly with that to myself, first and foremost, and establish, right? Identify, align with the dream that I hold, right? And it may not be logical even. It may not be, right, discernible. It happens by way of releasing what sense of discernment we've perceived, okay, to shape others. I'm hearing others, okay, but right and I'm beckoned to split the deck here, and I have the Eight of Pentacles overlaying another seven here for you. The Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Eight of Wands upright. 7, 8 in sequence. There's right, it perhaps has to do with career finances, okay? But there's a strong focus on what has masked, in a way, what it is that I feel, what it is that I contribute to, and how does what I contribute to continually feed my spirit, my essence that is very creative. All right, so thank you so very much again for tuning in, Cancer. Have a beautiful new moon eclipse, and I will see you soon for your September readings. If you feel that you may want to check out your ascendant, rising, or moon sign, right, you can calculate your signs below in the description box, the link that I provide. Just enter in your birth details there and it will compute them for you. All right, so but I highly recommend you to check out your rising, ascendant, or moon sign, as well as your Venus. Sometimes in matters of love, what you deem to be love, also career, finances, hobbies, things like that may apply as well. All right, so thank you so much again, Cancer, for tuning in. I hope you have a beautiful new moon eclipse, and I'll see you soon for the September readings. Bye.